Let's go. How do you do the predator thing? I can't. I'm sorry. I can't. Sounds like The Grudge. Anyway, I highly recommend this movie. I did the best I could to avoid any other YouTubers talking about this, and I did. Let's back up. First Predator, great. I think way back in the day, I kind of stumbled upon the second Predator first, and I'm glad I saw the first one when I was old enough to appreciate it. I think I was. I'm not gonna disclose my age, dork dads for a reason, but um, you know, you had Apollo Creed, you had Jesse the Body, you had the man Arnold Schwarzenegger. Let me get that cast up. It's been so long. Predator cast, but big cast, larger than life. I wish I could pull. I have like two still images here, but I wish I could pull up the old cast. But it was just like, yeah, Macho Men. So for like all the '80s kids, yeah, but they all got torn to shreds by this mystery character. I all right. So second one, I think so. I remember the trailers for the first one. Sorry, this is going to be a history lesson, but I remember the trailers for the first one. I was like, oh, jungle, and then when the second one was like in a city, I was like, eh. And oddly enough, I read Arnold Schwarzenegger's autobiography, but he didn't like the idea of it being in the city, but he had nothing to do with it, so that was that. And then through the years, you had it just became like Sharknado or Leprechaun. You had like Alien versus Predator, Predators, The Predator. How many of these iterations can we get? So I think the last one was the Predator, right? So what I think the Predator. So when this was coming around, when Prey was coming around, I was like, I heavily dismissed it. I have Hulu, and I was like, I'll watch it when I have a chance. It came out, and I will say I'm sad that it only went to Hulu. I don't know what the who knows what was happening to make that happen, but this should have gone to theaters. Let me. I took no notes in true Dork Dad fashion, but let me try to remember what happens here. So we're in early 1700s America. You have a Native American tribe where this female is part of, uh, and a predator shows up. And I don't, with the Predator franchise, I don't know, at least in the first two, how well, what the Predator's motivations are, how well it's conveyed. I lost my train of thought there. Not lost my train of thought. I couldn't get my words out. But you see, there's two things. You have the Native American tribe. They have this girl here. There's something against women joining the hunting. It's just she has to prove that she's able to do it. Like no one holds her back. No one tells her not to. Right? Like a Disney movie. Um, you know, I would say Disney princess. She does have a father that's not there, so dead parents, haha. Animal friend, dead parents. She has a little dog, but she's just obviously has been trying to keep up with her brother and the other young men here, as they are, they have to provide for their tribe, and that involves hunting and protecting. So she's doing her best. Um, Throughout the movie, you see her skills kind of ramp up. She figures out tomahawk with a rope, um, and there is a moment where she fights because her brother's not there. She fights with some of the other guys, and you can kind of sense this has happened before. So as far as people will complain that she was able to beat up some of the French men and then the Predator himself. And I'm like, well, the French guys were, I don't know why they were conveyed this way, but they're pretty stupid and pretty dumb. All they knew was how to shoot their muskets. There's a funny scene there with the Predator. Shoot one at a time, didn't work, and they had to stand there and try to reload. But, you take this girl that is more used to hand-to-hand combat. She had knives. Tomahawk knows how to use it. So I know there's this thing online where everyone says, well, a little girl cannot beat up grown men. If the girl has been fighting her whole life, if she's skilled enough and skilled enough in weapons, I think it's definitely possible. Now, back to the Predator. The Predator, I love how they progressed his little, because he has no lines, but he gets to the planet and he's sitting around, and I love his scenes with just him, and then eventually he meets the girl, Naru, and that's her name. But there's a bug. A mouse eats the bug. The bug is actually on the Predator. He's kind of floating in midair. Mouse eats the bug. The snake eats the mouse, and then the Predator takes out the snake. And then another moment, there's a bunny. There's a wolf. Wolf chases the bunny. Predator saves the bunny, fights the wolf. And then Naru here, she's out trying to find what has been killing stuff. She meets a bear. Bear's chasing her. Predator shows up, takes out the bear, which is an awesome scene. Very suspenseful. But you can tell that, and they just flat out say this, but each time the Predator is like, what is the biggest challenge or competition on this planet? That's what I'm looking for. Probably explains why in Predator 1 he's taking all those guys with guns, because obviously, I gotta take out the strongest guy out there. Anyway, they meet, and stuff goes bad back when Naru's fighting with the boys. The Predator shows up and takes the guys out because he sees, well, they're a threat here. And then Naru trying to run away, meets up with Frenchmen. She gets captured. Her brother is also captured. The Frenchmen use them as bait for the Predator. I don't know why they're trying to take the Predator out. I would just get out of there. But maybe they've been attacked as well. They use them as bait. Obviously, it doesn't work. Predator is tearing them up. And eventually, they get out. And Naru has to confront the Predator. So she actually uses the French boss, lures him in, uses her little cold flowers, figures out that the Predator can't see her, and she saves the day. Now, I have seen complaints that well, how in the world is this little girl taking out the Predator? But, again, this is her territory. She sets up a decent amount of traps. So there is a moment, there is not hand-to-hand combat, but there's a point where Predator has this sick little expanding shield and puts it up to her neck, and I'm like, all right, well, you're obviously have to be at least 500 pounds, so just all She rips off his tooth, and he also body slams her, and I'm like, all right, well, she should be dead. All he has to do is step on her face, but I don't know, I forget what happens there, but still, she kind of runs around, cuts his legs, runs away, sets up traps. She's obviously not as fast, so she gets the job done. So I wouldn't say this movie was groundbreaking, but I would argue that it did not have to be. We have been given so much garbage with the Predators, and it's really embarrassing because the first one was great, and I was just at a certain point, it's let it go. It's not even like horror movies where they keep coming out. They're actually, they're actually good, maybe. I don't know. I don't watch them. But they have been terrible, and now we get this. I would say we may need to pump our brakes here because everyone's do it in feudal Japan. do this here, do it in this time period, do it in this time period. I'm like, it's not Assassin's Creed, okay? People, I don't know. There's this fine line of like nostalgia and holding on to franchises, and then there's like Sharknado. And at that point, it's like, are you just doing it to actually do well and get money, or just doing it to be a meme at that point? So I liked it. I liked the Predator. I think I saw a meme about like, I showed a picture of the Predator and they're like, what? Look how they massacred my boy. I can see, so the technology is obviously very much more advanced, and you have to kind of think like exponentially in space world. The 87 Predator, I only know that because I'm looking at the year right now, was very technical. It's like, okay, well, within 200 years, with a more advanced species, of course they're going to have like a ton more technology, but I did not expect him to have this kind of technology. I didn't really know what I was expecting. Like, was he already out in the wilderness? But he did come from the spaceship, and everything he had was mechanical, even down to the helmet. So I thought it was good. Nothing groundbreaking again, but in this day and age, simplicity is great. It's really all you need. Not a whole lot of story is needed. I wish for Naru there was more to her becoming a fighter, just because, like, even if she said like, I shouldn't even say like, I want to help protect my tribe, I want to fill in the role that my father was in, because he's not there. But aside from that, it's just very simple goodness. So if you have Hulu, go ahead and I am, because we are definitely sponsored by them. Go ahead and spend the money that you would have spent on a pizza. Get a month of this. Watch it, support it. And I'd say support it because if you are annoyed with current Hollywood, the only way to win is to support what you like. So give it some views. Thank you. What's his name? Dan Trachtenberg, the director. So watch it. I liked it. How many stars would I give it? 4 to 5, 80%, 4.5, something like that. I'm not good at that ratings. That's up to Sam. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.